And that means one thing. It means there are a load of new movies that come out today. So it is time to speak to our movie critic, Van Connor, who comes on every Friday, just to discuss a couple of the new movies that are out because, well, he's a movie critic, so he gets to see them before we do. Good morning, Van Connor. How are you?
Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon. Good morning to you, Mr. Ball. How are you doing, sir?
It is Friday. I've already confused Friday morning with Friday afternoon. Don't worry, you're not alone.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 movies to talk about. Are either of them streamers or are they both out in the cinema today?
We've got one that's available on Sky Cinema from today, as well as in limited cinemas, and that's our first one that we're going to talk about. Our second one is straight up cinema, but available in cinemas. I mean, not that either isn't cinema. I'm not Martin Scorsese. Who am I to say what isn't cinema? Hashtag Marvel is cinema. Anyway, so let's talk about the first one, which is released in cinemas, and I think on Sky Cinema as well from today, and that's Liam Neeson's new movie, Retribution.
Yes.
Which is the new movie from Predator's director Nimrod Antal. And you know what? I can honestly say, and this is a sentence I never thought I would say aloud, he's my favourite Nimrod. I look forward to a new movie by Nimrod Antal, and this one sees Liam Neeson effectively phone boothed in a car. So he gets in a car one day in Germany, he's American, working in Berlin, gets in a car to drive his kids to school one day. Madman phones him up and says, there's pressure plates under all your seats, there's a bomb in the car, if any of you get out, I'm going to blow up the car. Now go and do some tasks for me that conveniently involve you staying completely in your car. I've got a clip for you, and this is Liam Neeson being threatened into shooting his co-worker without leaving his car. Have a listen.
Dad, don't do this.
5.
Please.
Dad, don't.
Dad, don't do this, okay? He's your friend.
Matt, let me get out.
Dad, he's your friend. Don't do this.
3. God forgive me. Please.
Matt!
God forgive me.
Let me go!
2.
Dad, he's your friend. What are you doing?
Dad, don't. Shoot him. Now. I can't.
And if you do have a subwoofer at home, that's going to blow it up, I would imagine, with that effect at the end there. This has got a kind of speed stroke Saw hybrids feeling to it, especially with that voice in there.
Yeah, you could. I think it's a bit more old school boilerplate Hitchcockian than that as well. You know, it's very much a conventional middle of the road, sort of dad thriller. It's what Liam Neeson's bread and butter now. But you know what? It's a pretty decent one. I had decent fun with it. I mean, it's a bit predictable. It's got a really illogical sort of villain reveal that makes just no sense. You're like, yeah, cool, sure. And also, it ends literally the only way you figure out it would, which ruins the fun somewhat. But while it's on for its sort of 90 or so gloriously breezy minutes, it's decent enough fun. Good supporting cast: Matthew Modine, Embeth Davis, Miss Honey from the 90s Matilda, Spider-Man's mum to a certain generation.
Yeah.
It's a decent supporting cast as well. Oh, and Jack Champion, who's Spider in the Avatar sequel. He's Liam Neeson's son, so it took me a minute to recognise him. But you know what? Yeah, director of Armored and Predators gives you phone booth but stuck in a Mercedes SUV, starring Liam Neeson. It's exactly the sort of 3.5-star, Friday night good time you'd hope for. Enjoy.
Brilliant. Okay, and that's the one that you said is on Sky Cinema from today as well, so you don't have to go to the cinema.
You don't necessarily. That's on Sky Cinema as well, yeah.
Lovely. All right, search for Retribution if you want to give the new Liam Neeson movie a go. And next, we're talking Cat Person. I mean, it's a bit of a weird title for a movie, no?
No, wait, actually, there is a meaning for it, and I will explain why. So, Cat Person, as used in the title of this, refers to a process whereby men on dating apps can advertise themselves as being a quote-unquote cat person because it makes them seem more approachable when in reality they're psychopaths. That's as we're told by Geraldine Viswanathan's character in this, who's very much the audience POV. She's the run, girl, run kind of character all the way through, but never really really overused, it's worth saying. So, this is a new movie from Booksmart writer and Spy Who Dumped Me director Susanna Fogel, and it stars Amelia Jones and Nicholas Braun from his cousin Greg in Succession. So this is going to have like a big fan base anyway, because who doesn't love cousin Greg, right? And this is, girl meets guy. They get to know one another via text. They get to know one another in person. Red flags start to pop up. Is he really the same kind of person he advertised himself as being in the talking stage? Or was that all just an act and really he's a nutter? So it's very rooted in the now, as you would imagine. I've got a clip for you. This is their awkward first meeting. And in this instance, you've got Amelia Jones being slightly more interested in Braun than the other way around, as you can very plainly tell. He's an odd type.
I'll do a large popcorn and red vines.
It's an unusual choice.
Thank you.
I don't think I've actually ever seen someone buy red vines.
Okay.
I guess you're wondering why we sell them then, if nobody buys them.
Thanks.
Wow, that date is on fire, Van. That date is on fire.
I've had worse, but I will say, do you know what? I buy red vines incidentally. I'm a red vines consumer. I love a red vine.
What's a red vine?
Sorry?
What's a red vine?
Red vines, they're like a jelly, like a hard candy jelly stick that you get in packs, small packs.
Oh,
in
like the
cinemas
laces?
in the US. So they're like laces. You can
Right.
like laces, only a bit more rigid. Yeah, I get big tubs from Costco. Anyway, I'll send you the deets. We'll text. We'll WhatsApp. I'll get it on the group chat, man. Anyway,
Please.
sorry, off the topic. So yeah, this is very good. This is very much sort of. This would go nicely in a sort of triple bill with Promising Young Woman and Fresh. So you have Promising Young Woman, in which Carey Mulligan was the sort of avenging angel against men who don't take no for an answer. That was that was quite darker, I think, than darker and more comedic. But then you had Fresh, which was the sort of rom-dram about what happens if you meet the perfect guy and he's a cannibal. And now you have the what happens if you meet the perfect guy, but he's not really the perfect guy, and he's, but at the same time, as much of the onus is on you trying to let your guard down at the same time. It's that balance between paranoia and empowerment. And it's brilliantly done. And Amelia Jones, perfectly casted. I was a big fan of her pretty much right away. Nicholas Braun, though, I really liked as well. I think this is quite a winner. I knew nothing of this, went into this cold, had a darn good time. Like I say, triple bill with Fresh and Promising Young Woman. So if you like either of those two movies or both, check this one out, definitely.
Amazing. Well, if you want to watch it, Cat Person in cinemas from today. And what have we got to look forward to next week? Are there any big ones?
Yes, next week we're going to have some fun. So next week we get to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's, which is actually out today, but was embargoed so heavily we couldn't review it, which I have really been looking forward to. And that involves that's like a Chuck E. Cheese style restaurant where the attractions come to life. It's based on a PlayStation game.
Yes. Oh, brilliant. And that's did you say that's out from today? But we'll talk about it next week.
That's actually out from today, but we will talk about that next week.
Looking forward to it. All right. Well, until then, have a lovely weekend, Van, and we'll catch up on Friday next week.
You too, good sir. Until the next time.
Cheers, Van. Right, Kylie, tension now. It's 11:25.